Have you ever felt like your heart is just too big for this world? Or have you wondered if you're actually just too scared to be yourself? We're often told that being kind will get us far in life, and that's true. Going beyond the ego can break self-absorbed habits that damage our health. But there is a flip side to that coin, where kindness becomes a quiet tragedy, a destructive extreme known as people-pleasing. It's a psychological wound often dressed up as niceness, and if you aren't careful, it can become a performance that leaves you feeling invisible in your own life. So let's look at the signs together. Is it kindness, or is it a survival strategy? First, let's talk about the sorry loop. Do you find yourself over-apologizing for things that aren't even your fault or within your control? Maybe you say sorry for the weather, for taking up space, or like the person who got hit by a car, and apologize to the driver for the inconvenience. When you apologize constantly without reason, you've started to confuse humility with self-blame, and you're inadvertently telling the world that your existence is an inconvenience. Sign number 2, the yes prison. We've all been there. Someone asks for a ridiculous favor, and even though everything inside you is screaming no, you hear yourself saying, "Sounds great, no worries." You might be constantly busy and burned out because you're terrified that a flat-out rejection will make people think you're a bad person. But here's the truth. Your dreams and your health matter just as much as theirs. And saying no is actually the first step toward a healthy boundary. Then there's the sign that you've become an opinion ghost. Think back to the last time someone asked your opinion on something you disagreed with. Did you speak your mind, or did you nod along politely to avoid a domestic quarrel or conflict? If you're keeping your political beliefs or personal values secret just to keep everyone else happy, you aren't being nice. You're making yourself invisible and settling for artificial relationships. Sign 4 is that you are an emotional chameleon. Do you notice yourself hiding certain parts of your personality depending on who you're with? Maybe you change your interests to impress a crush or act a certain way to please your parents. You've learned to be a mirror, reflecting what others want to see so they won't reject you, but in that process, you lose sight of who you actually are. Next, do you feel like you're the emotional janitor for everyone in your life? Empathy is beautiful, but it shouldn't lead you to take responsibility for other people's feelings. If you feel stressed and drained trying to fulfill everyone else's emotional needs, you're likely repeating a role you learned as a child, perhaps as the family peacekeeper. Remember, you are not responsible for anyone else's moods, whether it's your partner's insecurities or your parents' validation. Sign 6 is the constant hunt for external validation. Do you find that you never truly feel good about your accomplishments until someone else praises them? If you need kind words and approval to affirm your self-esteem, you're giving away the power of your own worth. When your value is determined by others, you lose control of your identity. And finally, the 7th sign. You pretend you're all right while you're breaking on the inside. You bottle up your disappointment and hurt because you don't want to be a burden or upset anyone. You smile when you're hurt and help when you're exhausted, but beneath that gentle surface is a creeping resentment. Is it really worth keeping everyone happy if you have to abandon yourself to do it? If you recognized yourself in these signs, know that you aren't fake or weak. You were surviving a world that taught you love had to be earned. But healing is the act of returning home to yourself. You are allowed to exist outside of other people's expectations, and you are allowed to say no without a paragraph of apology. The world doesn't need you to shrink to keep others comfortable, it needs you to be authentic. So, to the recovering people pleaser, take up space, take back your life, and remember, you never owed anyone your silence.